My name is Elizabeth Lauffer, and I'm beaming in today from the beautiful library at Übersetzerhaus Loren, a translation center in Switzerland. I'll be reading from Benjamin Quaderer's debut novel, Für immer die Alpen, or The Alps Forever, a whirlwind tour of the shady side of life in Liechtenstein. It's not easy being your country's most wanted criminal, especially when it's one of the smallest in the world. For a longer synopsis, please check out the book page at New Books in German. I'll be reading from the beginning of the novel. My name was once Johann Kaiser. You've probably heard of me. I'm 54 years old, Aries, and currently living under an assumed identity at a location I can't disclose. It's for my own protection. Here's what I can tell you. There are clouds and trees here. There's grass and animals that eat the grass. We have running water and electricity, not to mention sunshine. People live in houses here, houses with roofs and windows, balconies or porches. The average house has 2 floors, not including the basement, as this does not serve as living space, but instead as storage for food, photosensitive materials, and all manner of secrets. I, too, live in such a house. I sleep and shower and work here. Aside from the chirping of birds and the sound a tree makes when seized by a gust of wind, things are quiet in the neighborhood. It's mostly families around here. The robotic lawn mowers that most households own are as remarkable for the precision with which they clip the grass as they are in their silence. When I prepare my breakfast each morning, they're already at it, trundling across the adjacent plots like electric moles. I like the discipline of their movement, the geometric forms they follow. I boil an egg and toast 2 slices of bread that I coat with a thin layer of mustard and dress with cheese, tomato, and avocado. I arrange a glass of orange juice, a cup of coffee, my toast, and my iPad on a tray patterned with peaches and carry it out to the porch. I work my way through the daily papers as I eat. I read Le Monde, The Guardian, The Sun, The New York Times, El País, Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, Bild, Süddeutsche Zeitung, Neue Zürcher Zeitung, Blick, Tagesanzeiger, Liechtensteiner Volksblatt, Liechtensteiner Vaterland, Der Standard, and on Thursdays, Die Zeit. I save PDFs of articles relating to my situation in a folder labeled Me. I load the dishwasher, adding my plate and silverware to the dirty dishes from the night before, fish a tablet of detergent from the box, and select the appropriate setting. I usually go for the automatic wash cycle, and will occasionally opt for light wash, but never china/crystal. Glorious, the sound a dishwasher makes. I know to be careful not to grow accustomed to the things around me. Intense emotional attachment, whether to people or objects, leaves nothing but a void when it's gone. I'm unable to reach any conclusions about the people who lived in this house before me. Someone went to great lengths to remove all sign of earlier tenants. There's no wear and tear on the furniture, the walls are freshly painted, and if the walls ever did have holes in them, they're so well spackled I couldn't say where they might have been. There's a kitchen equipped with premium appliances where I do my cooking, a living room where I can sit and relax, a bathroom where I wash multiple times a day, a bedroom where I sleep and masturbate, a basement I don't use, and finally, a roomy space under the roof I've converted into an office. It's so quiet up there, the only sounds I hear are those I create myself. My breathing, paging through a book, sharpening a pencil and writing with it in a notebook, cutting paper, punching holes in those sheets, and later filing them in a ring binder, typing on a keyboard. Given my professional situation, I have felt compelled these last few years to change my whereabouts on a regular basis, most recently a few months ago. I was in a cafe, drinking the best espresso I've ever tasted, yet again rereading The Disappearance of Data by the criminal psychologist Dr. Jan Meyer, in which he depicts a fictionalized version of our encounter. In the book, I'm called Marius Fritz. A woman in her mid-40s sat at the next table, paging through the local paper. For as long as I can remember, I've been intrigued by dubious characters, which is why the headline on the back page caught my eye. Would you trust this man? the newspaper editors asked their readers, but I couldn't see the photo because the woman's hand was in the way. As I purchased a copy at the next newspaper stand, I had no way of knowing that that would be the last espresso I'd ever drink at this latitude. The man whose trustworthiness the newspaper called into question was me. I was beside myself. I got in the camper and drove down endless roads until the sun had disappeared below the horizon. I finally stopped hours later in a grocery store parking lot and dialed the number I had been instructed to, should such need arise. My whole body was trembling. The contact's voice was quiet and cool. I imagined she wore a suit and sunglasses. There was something arrogant about her composure, a real know-it-all air that sent me over the edge. "Is there nowhere I'm safe, goddammit?" I barked into the receiver. I slammed my forehead against the steering wheel and cried. Everything came rushing back. The torture in Argentina, my escape across Europe, then the fabrications sown by those who aimed to brand me a traitor. There's simply no escaping, I thought in despair. Not from yourself, and certainly not from Hans Adam II and his cronies. Since moving into this house, I've become even more circumspect. I maintain an amicable yet distant relationship with my neighbors. They think I work in the so-called IT sector. I make sure to be seen regularly, but not too often. We wave over the hedges or engage in brief conversations. Otherwise, I rarely leave the house, and when I do, it's to swim laps at the pool, send documents from the post office, or run little errands. I buy fresh milk, bananas, and mint every day. Beyond that, I work. The first half of the day I spend reading and preparing excerpts, then turn my full attention to the text following a light lunch. The diligence of the scientist and ambition of the writer are to blame for the fact that I spend so much time formulating pithy arguments intended to resonate with readers. The truer a sentence, the more beautiful it is. Despite the constant danger I face and consequent urgency, I have made it my business to research and cite sources wherever possible. For you to understand why I acted as I did, I need to do more than simply provide a comprehensive picture of my character and personal history. I must also depict the circumstances under which I found myself flung to and fro like a pinball. Because this story, my story, is all I have left in my defense against those who wish to see me dead. Wishing you a pleasant yet stirring read, Johann Kaiser.